Hi, welcome to Allbrands After Hours with me, Courtney Douthat, the show where we usually hang out and craft together. However, today we will be going over 5 ways to make money with your Brother ScanNCut. Let's do it. So you're wanting to know how to make money with your ScanNCut, how to make it really work for you. Well, there are different things that you can do and sell to be able to make a profit. And these are just 5 things that I've personally seen or sold myself that I saw were my biggest sellers and did the best for me. So number 1 is going to be doing appliques. Appliques are huge. Especially if they are wanting appliques for certain things, like we're about to be in Valentine's Day. This video might come after Valentine's Day, but people are wanting Valentine's shirts. They're wanting the initials of their kids or the full names of their kids. They're wanting a unicorn shirt. They're wanting, something in particular. So you're giving them that custom factor of it, which all of your ScanNCut products are going to be custom. You can fine tune them and critique them and be whatever color that they want, whatever size that they want, with your ScanNCut. So you're giving them that option of something being customable. So appliques are really awesome because you can put the applique straight into the machine, especially if it's a Brother PES file. You can put that right into your machine and cut them out. And we've done a few videos of appliques, but you can cut that applique out like nothing, make a custom shirt, and it'll only take you a few minutes to do. So being able to do appliques so much easier now is really, really amazing. And you can always do a stitch out if you want, like with the satin stitch, if you actually have a design, or you can take any design out there and put a backing on it, like a Wonder Under or a Hot Fix or something like that, and seal it on there and just do a quick stay stitch. And now you've got a custom applique that you didn't have to pay anything for other than your materials. You didn't have to pay for a design or anything, which again, is custom about it all, which is a really, really huge factor. Now, applique with fabric, you can do applique with vinyl, but something huge that I always tell people are there's certain times that someone is going to want matching shirts. There are certain times that you're going to a theme park with a mouse. A lot of people want Disney shirts, and a lot of people want Disney shirts that match each other. So you literally would just need to know their sizes, and then now you can put, the Disney, whatever they want on the shirts, and we'll put a few different examples up on the screen. These aren't ones that I've made, but these are just different examples. You could make custom Disney shirts, and on the back of them you could put mom, dad, or the kid's name or their last names on all their shirts so they all look similar to each other. And you can have different varieties of these. Now if you have a 330 STX 330, you have Mickey Mouse built in. So you're not supposed to sell Disney. So I'm not telling you to sell Disney. You did not hear that from me. If there's anyone watching, if the mouse is watching, I did not tell them to sell Disney. But that is just something that people like. All right, next one. Okay. Vinyl cups or koozies are another thing that I've noticed that used to sell really well for me when I used to sell different things, because again, customizable. If you ever have a teacher's gift, you get a really cute cup and put their name on it. Honestly, it's helpful because if they're at school or at work or wherever, the person that you gave the cup to, there might be other people with similar cups if you're just doing like a Yeti cup or something like that. Or unless, you can do a design. But it's nice to have their name on it, unless you're my sister-in-law that I made a cup for, and I noticed my father-in-law stole that cup. So now he has a cup that says Barbara on it, and his name is not Barbara. But you can have the cup, and that's something nice for them, and it's not something that they get a ton of, because I feel like teachers, they always get the same gifts. So that's something nice, because if you're giving a gift to someone, or selling these, it's nice to make it customizable. It gives it that extra step. Hey, I didn't just buy you a cup, I bought you a cup with name on it, with your name. I made it personalized to you. So that's a really, really great gift, and it also sells really, really well because of that customizable factor. And I've noticed that last minute teacher gifts or last minute little Valentine teacher gifts or something like that, very last minute, that the mom was like, oh my gosh, I forgot to even buy the teacher something. These things sell really, really well because they want them quick, and it's customizable, which makes it look like they thought ahead and put a little extra effort into it, but it was something really quick that they ordered from you, and they're excited about it. So another thing that I feel like I always get asked for the most is custom birthday items. I always tell the story of how my sister called me a day before my niece's birthday party, and she wanted custom princess things, and we made banners, we made shirts, we made all these things. But she was also sending me links from Etsy, from Facebook Marketplace, all these things that she had seen, but she wanted me to make them and customize them even more. And she knew that I could do it because of my ScanNCut. So I can make that vinyl shirt. I can make that garland out of cardstock, for her. I can make all these things because I have my ScanNCut. So all she has to do is send me things and say, oh, I want it this color instead. I want it this with this instead. And then I can custom make them, all those things for those. So a lot of times you'll see online, they'll have birthday banners. And again, we'll put things on the screen as examples, but you'll see different things like that. That you can do. So especially at first birthday party or something like that, oh my goodness gracious, that is where I got a lot of business from, was different things for first birthday parties. So birthday parties or having a theme things is huge. So number 5 is going to be for businesses. Businesses love putting their logos on things, and a lot of people are like, oh well, that's if they want to embroider a logo. Yeah, sometimes they want embroidery, but sometimes they want vinyl. I know my first few ones were a lawn service and a company that detailed cars, and they didn't want the embroidery. They wanted vinyl. They wanted the logo on the back, a big logo, and then they wanted a little one on the pocket of these t-shirts that their guys were wearing. And also they were giving some out to their customers, their good customers. They would give out a free t-shirt. Well, they had me take their logo, scan it into my ScanNCut, and cut out their logo to put on these shirts. And it went super fast. It was a lot, because once they bought those for me, if they got new employees, or again, they were giving them out in their business, they were asking me for more shirts. So all I had to do was either buy the shirts myself, once they told me how much they wanted, or one company just gave me their shirts that they had and I did them on those shirts. So I charged less for those shirts that I was just, the shirts that they had given me, and I was just putting vinyl on them, than I charge, of course, if I'm buying the shirt and everything like that. So that's a whole separate situation. But businesses, and again, word of mouth through those businesses, because someone's going to go home with that shirt, someone's going to see it. Now, those are the 5 different things you can sell, but I want to now go into the nitty gritty of it all. Okay, you found your product that you want to sell. Now what? What do you do? So back to businesses. With those businesses, when it was one that was selling or buying from me a lot, I sometimes would throw in a free item. I would throw in a koozie with their logo on it that they didn't ask for, or a cup with their logo on it that they didn't ask for, so they could see, hey, not only can she do these shirts, she also can do other things. So if they want to, instead of giving one of their customers a free shirt, they could start giving them a free koozie. They could start giving them a free cup, or something like that. So now they're not only ordering those shirts from me, they're now ordering koozies and cups from me. They're not only ordering, additional different things that they can do. And then that starts the conversation of, oh, wait a second. So what else can you do? Wait, and then it gets them, wondering, and now you've branched out. Now, if you only want to do shirts, that's fine. Know where your bread and butter is. But if you want to do other items too, that's an easy way to get into it. Now, I wouldn't just give every single customer that bought a shirt from me a free koozie or cup, because that's going to get expensive over time. But if it's a customer that's selling good, that I know, okay, well, they're coming back and buying 20 shirts from me, I can afford to give them a 15-cent, or a low item. So knowing that is kind of great. Now, back to the teachers, word of mouth is a huge way to get, I'm getting serious when I start rolling up my sleeves. Word of mouth is another way to get your business really out there, because someone's going to see that teacher with that cup. Oh, that's so cute. Where did you get that from? Well, she could say, oh, well, Alex's mom gave it to me. She made, I think she made it, or something like that. Or if I put one of my business cards in there, oh, well, so-and-so's business, and now word of mouth, and they start talking and people start ordering that way. There are so many ways to get your name out there. I always recommend a few different places to sell them. Facebook Marketplace is really good to get just a few things out there. Etsy is really great, but Etsy does take a large percentage. I know a lot of people sell on Poshmark or eBay are supposed to be good. I used to personally, I just did word of mouth for a lot of my sellings where people would contact me. A lot of people I went to school with would contact me and be like, hey, I saw that you made such and such. Like, feel free to share your things that you've made that you're excited about online. So like on your Facebook or Instagram or whatever, share and be like, hey, I made this. And then someone's going to see that. And then when their friend says, oh, I need someone to embroider. Does anyone know anyone that embroiders? Well, your friends or you could be like, oh, she does that. And then they're going to contact you and you can message each other and then you can start from there. And then you're starting to build up your clientele. So feel free to put yourself out there in that retrospect. Do it safely. I know Facebook Marketplace sometimes makes me nervous, but if you're shipping things or, doing it responsibly in that way, then you should be fine. Now, a lot of places that I tell people is to look at your local community. I know we have a farmer's market in my town, and during Christmas time, they'll have special farmers markets, or little pop-ups or something like that. So look and kind of see what's out there. If the fee's not too hard, like high, the entry fee isn't too high, and you feel like, okay, well, I can feel comfortable paying this entry fee, and hopefully I do well, then do that. But never, with the entry fees, I'm kind of funny. Never put money in that you're not willing to lose. So if the entry fee is $20 or $50, and some go really, really high, but if they're not that, I'm like, okay, well, it would stink to lose $50. It would stink to lose $20, but I'm going to invest that and see what happens. And then talk to the other vendors at the market and see what other shows that they're doing. And a lot of vendors are really great, and they'll tell you, hey, my best show is at such and such, or I do really well at such and such. Then that's something to think in. So you're gonna make friends in this, and you're gonna, kind of get to know people. And it's really great when you're online, you do start sharing on your personal page, or if you want to make a business page on Facebook or something like that. Friends and family are probably the ones that are going to share it the most and be excited for the most, and kind of reach out to a lot of people and be like, oh, like my sister one time shared something that I had made, and I got business from that because her friends start seeing it and stuff like that. So that's really great to reach out to different ones. Now, Etsy and all that is great. However, Etsy, remember, charges you a fee. So I always recommend, if you're able to do your own website, do your own website, because it kind of cuts out the middleman. And you can always do like PayPal or Venmo or something like that with those. So having your own website is great. Even if it's just, hey, these are the things that I make. If you make an Instagram account and it's just, hey, these are the things that I make, private message me if you want details, and then you can have them paid through Venmo or PayPal. And you're not having to get anything like, you're not having to get any credit card processor or anything like that. So, and again, with the markets and different things like that, you don't have to have the little chip that they can run their card. A lot of times at the markets, I bring cash, or they have the little QR codes that I can scan for Venmo or PayPal, and different things like that I can just scan to pay, or PayPal scan that too. But I can just pay that way. So it's not anything, because most people have a PayPal or Venmo account, or whatever. You have those accounts already, so you're not having to pay additional for stuff. So easy way for someone to pay you. So that's once you've really gotten into it. But that was something that I did, because I found that it was the safest way for me to make sure that I got paid and they get their product, and it's kind of, a give and take for us. So with only putting in the amount that you feel comfortable maybe losing, we want you to do well, we're rooting for you, but we're also making sure that we're doing this safely, is not investing like buying a ton of product, like a ton of shirts or a ton of cups that are sitting there not being sold. So we start off a little bit slower, and then it'll pick up, and then you'll feel comfortable. So I always think of it as, okay, if I've gained $100, I'll invest, $20, and I'm still got the chunk. It's kind of like when you're gambling, because it's gambling. But having that and making sure that I'm constantly doing okay, where I'm not overspending of what I've created. So you need to find a good in-between on that one. Now, when you're pricing something, you have to make sure you're not only making the material back. So let's say I'm doing a vinyl shirt, and I bought the shirt. Okay, well, we're starting off there. Okay, well, I've bought vinyl. Okay, this is how much vinyl estimated I've used to make that product. Okay, well, now that you have your materials done, I usually don't put my machine in it because I was going to have this either way. But if you wanted to, and you could see it as I'm paying off my machine, you could add that into there, but I don't personally because, again, I already had my machine. She was already here. But, so now we have our materials, our tangible items. But now we need our time put into that because time is money. We want to make sure that what we're doing is profitable for us. So we've now got our materials and our time. Your time, you can pay yourself whatever you want. Now be reasonable. She's like, I'm worth $100 an hour. Yes, you are. But let's be more reasonable with that. I know a friend of mine, she was making earrings and she had done resin, but she wanted to add a vinyl decal for Mardi Gras on them. And it was a very intricate design that she was weeding out, and it was taking her quite a while. And she was kind of frustrated. She's like, I used to buy these from a lady and now she upped her prices. I'm like, yeah, she probably upped her price because she realized, man, this is taking me a lot of time. Time is money. And raised her prices. Totally understandable. I don't blame her. So whenever my friend was doing that, I'm like, hey, you need to make sure that this is profitable for you and you're putting your time, and putting it correctly. So she ended up timing herself, and I don't know how much she ended up paying herself. I didn't ask, but making sure that you're getting that good in between. So now you've got your materials, you've got your time, and now you have your product. And of course, you can always look at it and be like, you know what, these earrings, it only cost me $6. Well, that's great. But if you know that is, and this is where it gets tricky, if you know that that's going to be a product that sells well for you, think about it, raising the price a little bit of it and knowing your worth. So it's knowing your worth, but also when you're first starting out, don't be selling $50 earrings. I mean, if you want to sell $50 earrings, that's between you. But having a reasonable price to start out with, because when you're first starting, you're not going to have a ton of orders probably. You might, that would be awesome, but you might not have a ton of orders. So getting that clientele, building it up, and then once you start getting really busy, okay, then you can possibly raise your prices because you're still going to have that business, and maybe you'll lose a little business from raising your prices, but they'll kind of equal themselves out. So if I'm doing something and it's doing really well and I'm falling behind because I'm getting so many orders, well, I'm going to raise my prices a little bit so that way it starts becoming a little bit more manageable. I'm still making the same amount because I raised my prices, even if I lost a few customers. But it makes sense, going forward for me, because again, your time is valuable, so you can kind of, start going from there. Now, I don't personally sell anything anymore. Every once in a while I will, but I just became so busy with work and life that it didn't make sense for me. But if this is something that you're wanting to be a part-time job or a full-time job, investing the time, investing your efforts in there are really, really great. Now, I still keep some people that I made things for and they were good customers. I'll keep them, But getting that clientele and getting that reputation of good quality products that they can get from you is always going to be helpful. And one of the last tips I have is to go online and see what other people are selling. Not to steal their ideas. We don't want to do that. But see what's out there and see what's the need, out there. What do I feel like is missing? Let me add something to this. So if I see, people are doing a bunch of 1-year-old, first birthday shirts, but they're all just kind of plain, and I feel like I could jazz it up and have something really, really amazing if I added, more sparkles, or if I added a different design. I see a lot of people are making little crowns, because I custom made a crown with my ScanNCut. They have crowns, but they don't have the cute little one, or maybe I could put a name on the crown, and that's something additionally that I could sell that no one else has. So you find your niche and what you like doing, and then go from there. So I always recommend do stuff. I mean, you're already most likely crafting at home. You're already doing things, and that's how I started. I was already doing these things, but I started taking pictures, nice pictures of them. Doesn't have to be, perfect, beautiful picture, but a nice picture so people could see what I could do, and then putting them out there. So it was already things that I was making for my son. It was already things that I was making for his birthday or for my nieces and stuff. I just start taking pictures of the things that I was making and then start putting them out there so people could even see what I can do. A lot of people, they get their ScanNCut machines and they can see other people making things. I can do that. You can do that. You absolutely can do that. All you have to do is start. just start from somewhere, start creating and see what you can do, and putting yourself out there. It's going to be great. And with the ScanNCut, it's so easy to do that because you have so much built in, and you can bring anything in, anything. So if people are asking for anything under the sun, you can easily do that with your ScanNCut, and you're not having to pay for additional things and softwares and all of that, because remember, Canvas comes free. We've done 2 videos on Canvas, so definitely check those out. So you have that outlet now, so you're already a step ahead of everybody else. So you can definitely do that. And of course, you always have us. You have a whole community here in the comments and with me that you can ask questions. So if you get stuck during your projects or you're not quite sure of something, ask us in the comments. I'm happy to answer them. And again, in the comments, you guys have been so nice and so sweet to me. I really, really appreciate that. I appreciate everyone that's liked and shared and subscribed. I mean, I am overwhelmed at how many new people we're getting. So hi if you're new. Oh my goodness, we're happy to have you. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope I was able to help or give you some ideas and some encouragement to start your business. You're going to do a great job. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.